squat down a little, like 10 feet away from Silas, and just say, "Hey, Silas, wake up."
Unless you do, they just they just kind of roll over a little bit.
There's shiny, glowy things off in the distance. You interested?
Silas sits up. Yes.
Simple, understandable.
Yeah, I guess. So where's Appa?
Yeah. They're very groggy, but they start getting up.
So you guys, from the sounds of it, by character consent or not, are awoken and get up.
So, I'm assuming we don't get a long rest, but do we get like a short rest at least?
Let's say you got a long rest.
Oh,
You
dope.
go.
Not that
Silas got a long rest too, I
honestly.
presume.
If you were on the last watch, or were going to be on the last watch, you get a long rest. To everyone else, you haven't had a consecutive amount of time to get the rest yet.
Okay, I have a question then.
You get a long rest.
Yeah, I know, but I have a question.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, we got +5 temp HP. That goes away now, right? We talked about that last
It's all
time.
gone now, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Unless you guys...
including...
Well, if Verdane gives you temp HP, then you guys will get that. You guys don't get the 25 from Lord Hiram unless you guys want to go wake him up, and he'll give you a rousing speech about the importance of rest and 8 hours.
I
did not sleep.
I had +5, like, temporary max HP.
Oh, no,
That goes away too, right?
that max HP, yes, is gone. That's from the
Okay.
Age spell. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
gone.
Are you sure we have to?
I get back
Rainbow
all
Rest?
bardic, right?
You regain all your bardic and your spell slots, correct.
Okay.
And any other resources that you would have.
I think that's
I
about it.
I think that's about it. But...
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to ask now because
Uh,
otherwise I would forget and then wouldn't know when it was
Ah,
important.
that's fine.
Understandable.
The extra 5 from 8, would that go away for me as well at this point?
Yes, because that is based upon time, not upon long rest
Yeah,
status.
got you.
Yeah, it's just a strict 8 hour on that, technically. I usually don't give a shit until it's like 10 hours or 12 hours, but I think it's been a while, consider how you guys...
Yeah.
Some of you have had a long rest, so I think it's probably
And
done.
Sajar still needs his nap before he gets the rest, correct? The remainder.
Correct. That's a good point that Ninja / Brendan makes. If you guys didn't finish a long rest, you guys would keep your 25 temp HP, because that's the rule.
Oh.
Temp HP goes away at the end of a long rest, so since you guys haven't had a long rest, you guys don't get back whatever resources you got in a long rest, but then you don't lose the resource either. So, go you.
I'm so disappointed because all I needed was a short rest, and I lost so much for it being a long rest. No! I unintentionally...
You don't have a level of exhaustion.
I think she'd be fine with that. She has a +2 con. She can save the exhaustion.
It's DC 10 to start.
So anyway,
Then it goes up by
I'm
it goes up by
glad-
5. It goes up by 5 every time.
Yeah. Anyway.
I do let people rest in armors for a little bit, but you can't just keep sleeping in heavy armor and shit like that. Your body will not be able to properly rest in it. Like, for like a night, maybe. But for like the entire campaign, nah, get the fuck out of here. Unless you're undead, I guess, because then you don't get exhaustion, but that's crazy. Anyways. So, you guys saddle up. Redane, you wanted to talk with Sir Levant, correct?
Absolutely.
You go up to him, and he is the silent watcher as... Well, he always has been, I guess. He doesn't even think, he just looks at you.
I'm assuming it's safe to theorize that you know exactly what's going on.
That would be an overassumption. If you're speaking of the thing watching you, I know not what it is, only that it watched you. If you speak of the site to the north that you are planning to traverse to, no, it is holy ground.
Understood. Thank you for your guidance.
He nods.
I'm gonna
Safe
head
travels,
over.
and in case we are not here by the time you return, safe journey.
And to you too, sir.
The Lord does like setting out quite early, so the chance is real.
Then give him my best.
He nods.
I would walk over to the group of now awake people. Lord Levant told me that it's holy ground up there. He doesn't know exactly who it's watching, but it's safe to say it's not wholly malicious.
Aye, but what type of god? The approved ones or the unapproved ones?
He wouldn't have said holy unless it was part of the true gods.
If you say so.
Fun times.
Well, the sooner we check it out, the sooner I can go back to sleeping. So, giddy up.
Aye.
Indeed.
We'll watch the camp for you. Don't worry, the place won't burn down. I think it already has.
Right. Brendan's gonna lead the pack because he's
I would hand one of them my whistle in case something does come. Sound it and we'll retreat post haste.
Amber nods. Takes it. You got it, boss. Happy hunting.
I would look back towards the group. Just because we are not certain it's not an enemy, doesn't mean we should go unprepared. Does everyone have their things in their best effects?
of course.
Oh, does anyone have a spare blade?
I pull out a dagger.
Sink!
Redane looks down to his. No.
Alice also offers a dagger from their boot.
A lot of daggers being busted out.
But I suppose you could take my spear if you're without a weapon right now.
I have a dagger. Well, I have several throwing knives, I should say. Which is
Daggers!
statistically better. It's better than a dagger!
He's asking for a sword!
Well, sucks, bitch!
Well, if we
Ah,
stay
fine.
long enough
Blade,
together.
a dagger is a
Redane would-
blade. Listen.
Redane would hold his sword and then present it over to Cesar. Be careful with it, it's magical.
So Jar would put a hand on it, palm open, gently push it back, and say, "A spear would be perfect."
And he far more gracefully pulls out the spear and hands it over to him. End first, not point.
Makes sense, yeah.
Stabs his hand to the spear. There you go.
And while I appreciate
spear
the
is just
office
a
of
dagger on
daggers
a
and
long
throwing
spear.
knives, I need a bigger weapon. Anyway, thank you.
Of course, it's best we're all armed or ready to go. Our first step out into this land was
I assume,
tumultuous.
just as a logistical note, I'm assuming at this point you guys have already turned the watch, so to speak. So, second to third. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Go at the end of our watch.
Okay. Then that means Zalmarika, they're gonna move spots to be over here when they're resting. Amber will stay exactly where she is, but Lambert and Vasa are not the ones up. Move Tallest down here too. Why not? Like a slide beyond the outskirts. And as O pointed out in general chat, if you lost your temp HP, you do benefit from his inspiring leader. So,
That's
how many points? How many? 6, 7? 7?
7.
7.
Let's go.
If you still have your 25 temp HP because you didn't benefit from a long rest yet, keep the 25. Because 25 is bigger than 7. Math! I swear
Double
I passed it.
HP.
Oh shit, really?
I know, right?
Can Lambert hit us up with some aid?
No.
Some of us lost all their bullshit. Son of a bitch!
But because
Lambert
it's
is
like,
asleep.
it's like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And he just got his
By
spell
noon.
slots back?
It'd literally be gone by noon.
It would literally be gone by noon, maybe 2 o'clock if I'm being generous, but yeah, like, he literally just got his spell slots back. He's not giving you guys shit. That being said, if Sajar is in desperate need of a sword, Vasa will lend you his.
Is it a two-hand
It is a normal
great
longsword. So,
long?
oh, you need a great sword. In that case, then switch that. Lambert will offer you his.
Oh yeah, I'll borrow the greatsword. Perfect. That way I don't have to change any dice rolls.
I figured that's what the biggest reason was. Lambert will lend you his. Lambert is definitely more. He definitely will prefer bigger weaponry, but he is a spellcaster still. So, and he's under the assumption that you guys will be back. So, he's not gonna lose it. Hopefully. So yeah, you can take his greatsword.
I will hand the spear back to Redain. Familiar hands are always better.
Lambert pulls out a composite longbow. He looks at Vaso. If anything happens, you're on defense. Yeah. Aren't I always? To Sajar, can you roll me your choice of perception or investigation?
I can certainly try.
Oh my god, you got so much closer to the mic. Oh, it sent
Intensify.
shivers on my spine. Oh,
It's
different type of RP tonight. Different type of RP tonight.
He has pretty scary.
Hush.
13. It is enough for something.
No. Cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
13 for you, Cesar. It's not the greatest, but it does get you something. This is an immaculate blade. No nicks, wear, or tear. It will be just fine for your purposes.
I'd look at it appreciatively and just sort of nod over towards Lambert and say, "The state of your blade speaks volumes. It honors you."
Roll me insight.
Better.
That's not for boss, so I gotta fucking remember to change that shit. He cringes under his helmet. He even takes a step back. I'm afraid to tell you, Sajar, that you are quite wrong on that regard. You all should
Would I
use it.
notice this?
They're not. Yeah, they're not trying to be quiet about it. So yeah, I'd say you would hear it.
Lambert, you need not bring up painful memories.
Well, it's not that painful memory, Redain, that troubles me. It is a mere fact of my life. But this eve is not the time for me to be regaling you of my cells. You guys should get going. While the effect is still up. Oh, right. If it is holy ground, you are going to. He goes and grabs basically they're not rosary beads, but it's like a rosary chain that he usually keeps wrapped and tied around his wrist. He begins undoing it. Which one to give you guys?
All of them.
Well, there's only two.
Oh, I love this item.
Are any of you trained in religion? Trained, not can roll it. Trained in it.
More. Nope.
No.
I'm half trained in it.
Jack of all trades, yeah, you're half trained.
You could say I know of Jesus. Sometimes.
He undoes.
Occasionally.
He undoes one of them and presents it out to whomever of you wants to take it. It is a holy symbol of the Visa the Vaunted.
I mean, if no one else wants it, I'll take it.
Add it to your inventory. I expect that back.
Then you will receive such. Oh, hush.
Woofer.
I get the symbol.
Almost
Summon the
against
dog.
religion.
Devil. Hellhound.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, holy symbol in hand for one of you, greatsword in another. You guys are kitted up, horses bridled and saddled. You guys ready to go?
Yeah, 5-minute break. No.
I mean, if you guys want, yeah.
No.
That'd be a perfect time for it, no?
Let's do it.
All right, 5-minute break. I'm gonna go get a drink. Be right back.
Water would be nice, actually.
I'm gonna remember to put something in my spell list. I should have. My
But
list.